Okay, today we're going to be solving two-step equations. It's pretty easy. It just takes 2 steps. Pretty easy to follow. Our first step is undoing any adding or subtracting, and then the second step, well, that's undoing any multiplication or division. What do I mean by undoing? Well, we're basically going to be doing inverse operations. You'll see what I'm talking about. Just remember, whatever you do to one side, you have to do the other. All right, let's start with our first equation. Negative 2x plus 8 equals negative 32. Well, the first thing I want to do is undo any adding or subtracting. They added 8, so I'm going to subtract 8 from both sides. On the left side, I get negative 2x. On the right side, negative 32 and negative 8 makes negative 40. Now I have a one-step equation. So I'm looking at the x, and my goal is to get rid of anything that's with the x. So it's negative 2 times x, so I'm going to divide by negative 2. They multiplied, I divide. So x equals 20. So you could substitute 20 back into the original equation, and it totally works. All right, let's look at another one. We undo adding and subtracting first. Well, here they subtracted 16. So that means I'm going to add 16 to both sides. And I get 4x equals negative 12 plus 16. Well, that's going to be a positive 4. Now it's 4 times x, so I divide by 4, x equals 1. Well, that one was pretty simple to do. Oh, this one looks a little different. Well, let's see how it works differently. We still undo the adding and subtracting first. So we subtract 6 from both sides, and we get x over 3 equals negative 16. Now, x over 3, that means x divided by 3. So if they divided by 3, I multiply by 3 on both sides of the equation. Over here, that becomes a 1. X equals negative 48. And for our last problem, similar to the one before, in this case, they subtracted 7, so we will add 7 to both sides, and we'll get x over 5 equals, well, that's going to be positive 5. Now, if this is x divided by 5, that means I have to multiply both sides by 5, and x equals 25. And that looks to be the right answer. So remember, just undo the multiplying and dividing first, then undo the adding and, adding and subtracting first, then undo the multiplying and dividing. So it's undo adding and subtracting, then undo multiplying and dividing. And that's why it's called a two-step equation.